Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
An innovator named Vishrut has come up with a unique technique for desalination of water using membrane filtration technology, wherein they use customized membrane to produce naturally mineralized potable water.
Water, the essence of life, covers more than two-thirds of our planet's surface. Yet the need for fresh water continues to grow. Much of the Earth's water is saline, making it unsuitable for human consumption and agriculture. But what if there were a practical method to upgrade the current desalination process? In today's episode of Changemaker, we have with us Vishrut, who is working on developing a solution for water desalination using cutting-edge membrane filtration technology. With their innovative approach, they are addressing pressing challenges of freshwater scarcity and sustainability. Welcome, Vishrut.
Hello, sir.
Could you please provide some insight about yourself and your innovation?
Sure, sir. So, to start off, my name is Vishrut and I belong from Sangam city, Prayagraj. I have been located with the banks of Ganga River, but then for my undergrads, I moved to Kerala, where we have immense, coastal line sharing with the saline water. I started my education over there in bachelor's in architecture, and I've recently completed my graduation. Over there, I could see a lot of innovative things and innovative approaches which people were taking, and that's how I began my journey of innovation.
So, which problem does your innovation aim to solve?
So, majorly, what we are trying to tackle is freshwater scarcity. We have recently seen a very major pandemic, which was created by COVID-19. But the upcoming pandemic, which we all are unaware, or I must say, like partially aware about, is that the water scarcity issue. Then in 2018, when I joined the college, that was the year when our initial, let's say, a baseline flood came in Kerala. In 2019, it got struck very badly, and I was there in NSS camp over there. And due to that, I got a chance to get connected with the people who were living near the coastal areas. What happened over there was the backwater bodies, which were flooded with the fresh rainwater, they came towards the surface, and the surface water, which was available for the people, it became saline. Seeing that, me and my friends at that time who were there in the camp, we tried to make a small miniature setup which was working on the principle of condensation and evaporation, a very many smaller one which sailor boats use for getting the fresh water. That's what we developed and provided to the people who were living over there. And that's where I could understand that if this much amount of saline water is available, why not try to use this as a resource and get fresh water out of it? And this was not a very first move. We have seen a lot of industries which are already existing in the market who are already working in the same domain. But there were a lot of issues which were coming over there, which I look forward to discuss with you.
Yes, Vishrut, what inspired and motivated you to create this innovation?
So people I met over there during the floods, and I could when I went to help them clean the houses, and when I helped them migrate from over there, I could see the problem which they were facing, and that's what made me get concerned about them. And then I thought like I should do something, and I should look forward for this.
Hmm.
That's how I formulated a small team of people who were having, let's say, keen interest, and I would say a little bit expertise into
Hmm.
the aspects which I was looking forward to develop for.
Could you please explain how your product works?
So right now, sir, if you see the market, it is flooded with RO membrane, which is known as reverse osmosis membrane, which covers almost three-fourths of the market. And other than that, there's UF and other smaller membranes, which are trying to tackle the scarcity issues which are existing in different parts of the world. But the problem which comes with these membrane is that the recurring cost of changing these membranes is a lot. Every 6 months or 3 months, you have to replace them, and it goes to waste because there is no usage of it. Due to this thing, there is a lot of environmental impact which is getting created with this. Seeing all of that, when we started the setup, we were working on a very basic principle. But when we went into the depth of it, when we read through papers, we could understand what is existing in the market. We could analyze the market, and that's when we went into the membrane development aspect. So what is new in this membrane is we are using graphene oxides. Graphene oxide is the master of all the materials and components which will be there in the future. It is there from the clothing to the eating, every segment in the market now. And that's when it has lot of strength, it has a lot of qualities which makes it stand ahead of all the other current existing materials. Now, what exactly we are doing with that material is we are combining it with some different kind of chemicals and combinations where we are getting a composition, and we have fabricated this in-house in an IIT Calicut, where we are trying to develop a membrane through which once we follow the process of regular osmosis, it can be cleaning the water, and once the water is clean and it is potable, you can do a reverse flux and clean the membrane. Now, what it does is that it makes the membrane stand out, it makes the membrane get a longer life. How? Because it reduces the issue of foliage. So, once the foliage of the membrane, the organic components, they are not settling on it, the life expectancy of any membrane increases to immense. Now, once the life of the membrane increases, the recurring cost of replacement is also reduced. So seeing all of these things, we can say once the membrane gets ready and it is introduced in the market, the demand and supply of this will be an immense quantity. That's where we are making an innovation and a change.
Great. Vishrut, what sets your product is different from other existing products in the market?
Sir, if I may give little brief about the existing technologies, right now, as I mentioned, most of the industry experts are using membranes which are related to the RO or the reverse osmosis process. These membranes have been prevalent in the market from longer time, or I must say 2 to 3 decades already, and there is no new innovation which is coming into it. Seeing that, when once our product comes into the market, what it brings a change is it will have a longer life, as I mentioned. The life expectancy of the membranes which are already existing is not longer. That is what makes it different. Apart from that, other components like the sedimentation filter, the carbon, nano, and all these filters are pretty similar. We haven't innovated any part in that. We are majorly focused into the membrane, which is playing a critical part in removing the salt ions from the water. That's where the membrane becomes effective, sir.
As water is a fundamental human need and desalination plays a vital role in addressing saline water sources, I imagine you must have received positive feedback for your innovative ideas. How has the response been from the people around you?
Yes, sir. If I would like to share a personal experience, like once we were developing this setup, we got connected with the professors from our college itself. Luckily or fortunately, I would say our college is in Kerala, and over there we have lot of I would say resources of backwater bodies. So once we were developing this, we used to go to these places to collect the water samples and try to filter them. Once we were doing this thing, our college, in a way, if I may say, they became our first customer because they mentioned that the moment our system gets ready, they would like to install it into I would say, system into the canal which we are having next to our college, so that they can get the supply of fresh water through it. So this was the first-hand experience which we got as I must say the customer interaction. That was a positive feedback. Apart from this, we have been into multiple competitions and conferences. Whenever we go to these places, the kind of response which we get from the people and the jury members over there is very positive because they are very curious about the new kind of membrane we are developing, the new shift we are trying to get into. We are very proud to say that we are amongst the top 100 startups under the Young Innovators program organized by Kerala Startup Mission, and they have been mentoring us as well. So their response as well towards this product has been very supportive. And our incubation center, TBI at NIT Calicut, they are also one of our customers because they also mentioned the moment we get it ready, they would take it to the first product.
Vishrut, you are the proud winner of National Innovation Contest. Can you please share your experience participating in NIC and how has your involvement in NIC influenced your entrepreneurial journey?
Sir, if I may address this thing, in 2019, June, when we applied for this competition, we were very much unaware about what is coming to us as a team. When I started the proposal part of it, we understood that this would be something a short 1 to 2 month thing or a very smaller kind of competition, generalized hackathons or something. But the moment we got shortlisted amongst the top 24 teams, which were called for the boot camp and the mentoring round in Delhi AICT headquarters in September, we were amazed with the people and the kind of let's say support we got over there. The kind of lectures into the finance, the startup settlement, the IP filing, and different kind of let's say supports which we could get at that point of time when we were starting our journey was very different for me. And that was the point, if I may say, the pivot for me when I understood that this is something which I want to do. This is something which calls me for, and that's where MIC has been a very bigger support from me. Apart from this, IIC at NIT Calicut, the moment we started our journey with IIC, I became the innovation ambassador over here, and I was handling the innovative projects in our campus, where all the supports and guidance which I have received from ministry, I could transfer it to my juniors and colleagues and peers. If I may even address like the kind of trainings which we got in between the COVID time as well, like if I mentioned the angel investor investment ones, like where the Leap Angels gave us a workshop on what all kind of let's say developments we have to do in a startup, what all things we required in the initial stage, and once the product is ready and all other aspects was not easily available to us, which we couldn't understand on our own. The rounds of trainings which we got from ministry and different, let's say, rounds and the webinars which we had in multiple stages from the starting towards the end has been of immense help. I would wholeheartedly thank Ministry of Education and Ministry of Innovation for providing all of these supports. Abhishek sir, Deepan sir, all the people who are associated with this for providing us this support and all the mentorings which we have got as of now. And we look forward to have a very let's say longer collaboration with them and share the learning experiences together. Thank you.
Thanks, Vishrut. Vishrut, could you share the challenges you faced during your journey and how you overcome them?
Yes, sir. As we all know, like we all got stuck by COVID-19 in 2020. And that was the time I would say our startup was on the peak because we were into the development of the membrane because we had read all the papers, we were all set to start off the trials and the fabrication part of it. But the moment this got stuck, we were stuck with the things which we had in our hand and we couldn't develop the things because the lab was not available. That was one of the biggest challenge because when you try out something new, you need a curated system to work on with. But we didn't stop at that time. What we did, because as I belong from the northern side of India and my college is in the southern side, I still carried out things which were possible over here. I got support from Abhishek sir and the team who helped me and guided me that whatever possible colleges are there in my hometown over here, you go over there and try to develop things which were possible. So instead of the time wasting for just believing in like what to do, we were actually working parallelly with the COVID-19 struggles. So that was the biggest challenge. But even during that time, the supports with the team and from the ministry we had was very helpful for us for keeping us moving ahead.
I'm sure you have received some recognition for your interesting innovation. Could you share few of them with us?
Yes, sir. So in 2019, first of all, the moment we got shortlisted for the national boot camp, we were recognized by our college itself that you are among the top innovative ideas in the campus. That was the first recognition we got parallelly to NIC 2019. Apart from that, we went for multiple competition. And if I may address a few of them, one of the most proud achievement for us was amongst the top 100 innovative ideas in Kerala, which was organized by Kerala Startup Mission KSUM. The competition was known as Young Innovators Program. So we got a support for 3 years continuous mentoring and funding support from them, parallelly to MIC NIC part. We apart from this, we even went for multiple idea pitching and business proposals. Where Interface 2019, we were the winners of the best idea pitching round over there. Then some organizations in Bangalore and I would say IITs as well organized. We were the participants over there as well. So we like would say like without the supports which we had at the back or the confidence which MIC has boosted in us, we wouldn't have gone to these platforms and would have got these recognitions. So whatever we have achieved as of now is just because of MIT support.
Vishrut, how you will ensure that your products meets quality standards?
That is a very big responsibility towards our team, sir, because if I have to say that we are providing something which is a basic necessity of every individual in day-to-day life. Water is something which we need to have in our every aspect, from cooking, drinking, bathing to all domains. So when we are developing something which is a basic necessity, we have to be very careful. We have some set standards as per the government regulations. We are trying to take them as our say benchmarks and trying to produce the best portable parts which are achievable, and trying to get the lab testing from our college in the first hand with the teams which we are having over there. Apart from that, the water regulation authorities, we're taking support from them as well to check and test the water qualities which we are producing. Is it as per the standard or not? This is something which we are taking as our main objective, that until unless the water gets to the best, we are not producing the system which is good for the market until that time. Once the things get to the benchmarks which are set up by the what's say which with our team and the what's say ministry, we would go ahead with that.
Yes. Cost efficiency is also a very important aspect. How will you ensure cost efficiency of your product for the end users once it is out in the market?
Yes, sir. Sir, as I was mentioning, like the membrane we are developing, the recurring cost of membrane replacement is very less. So, if I may explain this with the example of a household system. So, we have RO, let's say, purifiers in our home, and every 6 months we have to change the RO membrane which is installed over there. The cost which is dealt into the replacement of it, service person's fee, and the new membrane cost, that will be going towards the half or even one fourth of it, because the membrane which we are developing, that would be one time cost, that once you buy a membrane, that would go for minimum 1 to 2 years, and it can very effectively clean itself, and it will be even producing less waste as much as we are having towards the current system. So that's where the cost part of it getting reduced, because the replacement cost and the recurring cost of it will be reduced by very much.
Yes. MIC, AICT is providing you support. Have you received any support from other sources, whether financial or otherwise?
We have got some support from IEDC, around some 5 to 10,000 in the initial stages when we were developing. Apart from this, as I mentioned, the Interface 2019, as we were the winners, we got some around a sum of amount of 25,000 from them. Apart from this, we have got smaller amount of supports from different personal systems as well, wherever we have gone, some angel investors or some other people. Apart from this, TBI NIT Calicut has given us all sort of supports, mentorings which we were looking forward, and the midterm education, the support which we have got from them has been enough. I must say, for the trials and the testings which we have been doing up till now. Now we look forward for going for some investment rounds, and we are trying to get some more funds into the mark so that we can go further industry.
Many young innovators are watching this session. What advice would you give to newcomers considering starting their own venture, Vishrut?
Hear this question, I remember myself. I was a person, I was like, oh, I will just try this thing. Let's see what happens. So that was something which I had an attitude towards the competitions and different, platforms which were during my undergrad time. One very important thing which I would like to give as a message to all the innovators, upcoming innovators, I must say, that always believe in yourself, that you are the one who is going to bring the change. Never be hesitant to share your ideas, share your thoughts. Be very vocal about it, because the until unless you share the idea which you are having in your mind, you will never know if that idea is even viable for the person whom you're developing it for or not. You need to understand the market and the end user, whosoever is getting using your service or product for. If you understand them, you will be getting a very directive or very corrective system of service or product for them. Apart from this, one very important thing is that during this entire journey of 3 years, I have been very patient and consistent. Never lose hope in your product, never lose hope in your team. always be a very good strength and a very good team leader. Try to understand the personal aspects as well, apart from the professional things, because your personal and professional always go parallel. Once you understand a person, you understand the problems which they are trying to go with, and once you understand all of that, they give their all the system, all the things wholeheartedly. So have some patience, have the consistency, and you can do anything in the world.
Very important thing. Never lose hope. Uh, Vishrut, what are your future plan for the business?
I'm very much excited, if I may say, about the product because we are almost towards the end of it. Because the membrane is, I would say, 80% ready because some testings and trials are going on. Once that gets ready, we are very much ready to go into the market and disrupt it with the best possible things which we are having in our hand.
Thank you so much, Vishrut. Thank you so much for joining this session. All the best for your venture.
Thank you so much.
Addressing world's water crisis is a collective responsibility, and innovative technology will play a crucial role. To ensure a brighter future for generations to come, Vishrut and his team is leading the way towards a world where fresh water is no longer a scarcity. In the upcoming episode of Changemaker, we will have the opportunity to interact with another inspiring innovator. Until then, Namaskar, Jai Hind.